Hello everyone, welcome back to our second lesson on the Computing Basic 7 programming. So let's quickly look at what we are supposed to discuss today. We are to demonstrate understanding in the use of data types, and then we will look at all of them and then develop key questions around daily activities to identify the various data types. Great. So let's quickly go on to our lessons. Okay. So understanding data types. Data types are fundamental categories that allow computers to interpret and store information efficiently. From integers and floats to strings and booleans, each data type has unique characteristics and use case. Yes, so the computer works, especially when you are doing programming, right? Every single character or word or letter or number you use has its corresponding data type. And that is what helps the computer to know how to maintain and give an error-free code, right? It allows the computer to interpret and store information efficiently. So you can't store a number as a other data type. Let's say you want an integer, you can't store it as a string. Otherwise, it will show as a string. And if you want an integer, you store it just as a number as it is. So let's look at integers, floats, and then double. So integer in programming, the short form is int. Integers are whole numbers without decimal points, such as 1, 42, or -7. So remember, -7 is part of integers, ranging from negative infinity to positive infinity. They are used to represent quantities that cannot be divided, like the number of siblings or the current temperature in degrees Celsius. Yes. So if you want the number of people in a room, we can't divide human beings into two and have 1.2 people. No, we have one, two, or three people, 42 people. Yes. So things that cannot be divided, we use integers for them instead. All right. Then we look at floats. Floats and doubles are numbers with decimal points, providing more precision for measurement like height or GPA. So we ask you, what's your GPA? Your GPA is 3.48 or 3.71, right? What's your height? I'm 6.23 feet or I'm 1.2 meters. So floats are decimal numbers, if you can say it that way, and they have single precision and contains decimal points up to 6. Then what about double? Double is a number with decimal points, providing more precision for measurements like long calculations. So doubles have double precision, making them more accurate for complex calculations, and they contain decimal points up to 15 places. So floats and double are all decimals. The only difference is that floats takes up to 6 decimal places, then double takes up to 15 decimal places. Great. So we'll go on to look at the other types of data types. But before we go into that, let's quickly demonstrate the integer, the float, and then the double. So this is back to our JavaScript program that we did previously, and then let's quickly look at it. Yes. So if we look at this, we realize that this is 3.14, which is a decimal, and we can say it's a double or it is a float. But here, because it is within the range of the 142 and within the 6 decimal place of float, here we can call it a what? A float. And this is a whole number we have here. And this whole number, you realize that it doesn't have a decimal. So here we call it a what? Yes, an integer. Great. So when we run our answer, we get what? 153.1958. Right. So we can say this is a float because it is within the 6 decimal places. Let's just increase it here. 3.142.456. Let's do something here. And then let's run this code again. So we realize that we are getting 6 decimal places, which is within the range of this one. So let's just add another one, which is going to take our number pi here outside the range of how do you call it, a float. Then we run the code. You see, realize that we are getting our answer in a float, sorry, in a double. So let's just maybe add a decimal point here, just 4.5 here, and then let's run our code again. Realize that our code is going into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 decimal places, which is more than the required for what, a float. So here the answer has been given in a what, a double. Yes, and you realize that when we were discussing, we said it is we use double for more complex calculations. Great. So that is why this calculation gave you the answer in a double format, because that's how you get correct to the decimal places for correct calculations. Yes. Okay. So let's go on and look at strings. Strings are a sequence of characters such as names, phone numbers, or addresses. We will understand why phone numbers are strings and not numbers, because we use mobile phone numbers are not stored as integers, because the integer data type hold values that have the potential to be what, used in calculations. And you know, when we are storing phone numbers, we don't want it in a calculation form. We want people to be able to just pick the number and use it. So we can't store a phone number in a what, string format. We should rather store it in a what, sorry, we can't store a phone number in a integer format. We should rather store it in a what, a string format. So there's no context for using phone numbers as calculation. Hence, it is stored as a what, a string. So two-letter words to from two-letter words to the longest word in the dictionary, we classify them as what, strings. So look here, this whole sentence is a string. And when we are writing string in programming, we put it in quotes. It's either I put it in double quote or single quote, not both. So here I have a single quote and a single quote. Let's use double quotes to demonstrate it and see. So yes, we get the answer. The area of the circle is 63 points. Then we get our answer. So that is a string. So a series of what, letters. So immediately it becomes a letter, just one letter. Let's say A. Sorry, let's type it here. A. It becomes a what? Yes, you are right, a character. So characters are just letters, a single letter. Yes. So character is just a single letter, and then a string is a group of letters. Okay. So character are single individual letters or symbols such as a, ampersand, or 9. Yes, so whether you use the dollar sign or whatever, you have to put it in the quotes to signify that you are dealing with a character. Immediately it becomes two letters like 80. It ceases to become a character and it now becomes a string. So let's know the difference. Two-letter words and above are strings, and then one single letter or symbol is a character. Then a single number is what? An integer. Then what about Boolean? Yes, We discussed Boolean briefly in the previous lesson. Booleans are data types that can only have two values, true or false. They are used to represent binary states such as whether a student is enrolled or if a person has any what pets. Yes, like the way we demonstrated in the previous lesson to check the age of an individual. So we did age is equal to 23 here. Then let's write, sorry, let me use small letters here. So if age is less than or equal to 17, then what should we say? Console.log you are under age. Yes, you are under age. Then we can bring out another if age is greater than, sorry, or equal to 18, then we can also call out what? Console.log you are an adult. Then the last one, else what should happen? Yes, so we can still, yes. So we can bring out another if to check age is greater than, let's say, 60, right? If the age is greater than 60, we should call out something else. You are retired. Yes. So let's run this code and see. Now we have 23, and 23 is saying you are an adult. So we are using Boolean to check. So you see right now we are using the less than or equal to. Now we are using greater than or equal to. And now we are using only what? Greater than. So let's change the age to 71. 71 and run this code. It is saying what? You are an adult and then you are retired. Yes, because according to our code, we wanted it to run what? Uh, when somebody is 18 years and above, it should tell us the person is an adult, and then it's also saying you are what? Retired. So this is a simple Boolean logic to check out if somebody is underage or what. So since we changed to 7, now it's only this one which is working. You are underage. Great. So Booleans are essential for conditional statements and logical operations in programming, allowing developers to make decisions based on the truthfulness of a condition. Okay, so our everyday data types. What are some of the ways we deal with the data types in our everyday lives? So age. Typical example is our age. Integers are used to represent age as it is a whole number without what? Decimal points. I don't think when we ask your age, anyone will say I'm 23.4 years old. No. Age is a whole number that we use. We are 24 years, 14 years, 18 years and above. What about height? Height we can use both of them, float or double, since they fall within the decimal place. What about name? Strings are used to represent names as they are sequences of what? Characters. Then what about our favorite letter? Our favorite letter, of course, we will use a character because it's a single, characters are used to represent what? Single letters. Great. So let's quickly do an exercise here. we are looking at data types in action. Are you a student? So what do you think we will use here? What data type are we going to use? Are you a student? So which one are you using? If you guessed Boolean, yes, you are right. So Boolean is used to check whether something is true or false. So since are you a student? No. Then yes. Okay, then you continue. So Boolean fits the correct data type here. Oops. Okay, so what's your average grade, right? What's your grade? So let's say your GPA. I flashed the answer already, but so you can guess, yes, it's a float or a double. Okay, so how many siblings do you have? How many siblings do you have? Yes, you guessed right. Integer. We are using an integer here because human beings cannot be divided. Let's go on to the next one. What's the current temperature? Yes, we are right. We use float or double to check what? Temperature. Great. What's your phone number? I explained this thing. This one should be simple. String. Yes. Do you have pets? Do you have any pets? This one should be simple again. Yes. Boolean. And then the next one, what's your shoe size? What is your shoe size? Yes. That one too, you can use floats or integer. Right. Then what's your middle initial? Your middle name initial. Your middle name initial. The keyword is initial. Yes, character. So great. This lesson has taught us data types and how to use them. And thank you for watching and being with us. Our next lesson, we are going to discuss the third indicator, which is demonstrating the use of constants and variables using what? Programming. Thank you.